Tara. Welcome to my craft room. I've done a bunch of the pop-up cards, the new ones that Cricut's put out. So if you're interested in doing pop-up cards, check out my channel. This is the Cupcake pop-up card. And I added some stuff to make it a little more interesting on the front. Cricut would be just the red. And then it would have white like this showing through where the cupcake is. So I thought it was fun to do sprinkles instead. So here's the front. And of course you can change this. It's just a cupcake, so it could be for anything. You can change it to happy anniversary or graduation or anything like that. So here it says happy birthday. And then when you open it up, there you go. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? I just love this one. So let's go make it. Here we are on the front page. The pop-up cards, which I've done almost all of them, you can check my channel, are here on the front. They're not under images. They're right here on the front page. So you're going to do just like this, pop-up cards. There we go. And we're going to be doing this cupcake one. I've done a bunch of these. I did the unicorn one. I made it. I also made it into a horse. I did the pineapple one also, but I made it into a cactus. I'll have that posted here in a little bit. But today we are going to do the cupcake pop-up card, and then you're going to hit customize. And that's going to put it on our replace. There we go. That puts it on our canvas. I will tell you all about this when we get to the craft desk. I bought a ream of 12 by 18 copy paper. It's very light. That I make my envelopes out of. It is linked down below in the description, but we're not really going to use that. So let's hit delete. There we go. Now, we only need 4 more images to go with this. And I am going to list them on the images as soon as, so you can just pause it, go ahead and load up all these. There we go. The first one is going to be your corner in the front, and it's the one that you see right there. It's M412-7E. And there you go. Okay, now we're going to click on that, and you see down at the bottom it's loading it up. We're going to load everything up and then hit insert all at once. So now you've got your list here of all the images. So I'm going to fast forward through this because you don't need to watch me look up all of the different images. You go ahead, do that, then hit insert, get everything put on the canvas, and I'll meet you over there. Okay, we hit insert. Everything's up here on our canvas. First thing we're going to do is we need to get rid of this frame around. We don't need that. So you find your triangle corner here. You're going to highlight the frame, and you're going to go down here to this eye and hit it, and it's still there. It just makes it where it won't cut it anymore. Okay. Then we are going to make this 5 inches high. 5. There we go on the height, and you can see then that goes right in there, just like that. Okay, and I'm actually made it a little bigger, and I cut out the square part, but I ended up really kind of liking it a little smaller. Your happy birthday. I'm gonna go ahead and do all the sizes here. Just because it's easier, and then we'll change all the colors and everything, and I'll show you what to do. And then that way, you know, this one is going to be 2.25 inches high. So you go down here to height, and click it. And it's going to be 2.25. There you go. Got that. The frame is going to be, normally I make this kind of a rounded numbers, but this one has to fit over that cupcake. So I need to do a little bit different. This time we're going to do the width, and it's going to be 2.42. I know that's kind of strange, but I need it to go exactly over that cupcake. Okay. And then the height should be 311 because we're leaving it locked. And as you can see, it just, whoops, there we go. Because we don't want it to overlap the fold. There you go. See, it just fits in there exactly right. So let's bring that back down here where we can see it. Now, I wanted to make it kind of bright, like, primary colors. So here's what I did. The thing I turned red. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight it. You see over here on the right, you're going to make sure you've got edit. Now, in order to, if your thing has a score line or an inking line on it, see this dotted line in the middle right here of the card, then you're going to get this multiple with a question mark down here in the lower left-hand corner. So what we need to do is we need to highlight just the color we want to change. You're going to go up here. And then I did no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I did the bright red for the card. Okay, so we're going to do that. Then for these little pieces, I wanted them to be chocolate, just like the other pieces of the cupcake. So I'm going to turn those to brown, and I will show you how that works. This one doesn't have any score or draw lines on it, so when you look on here, everything in this upper section is all going to be colors that are already being used. Okay, so we're going to click that. And now you see it matches the other part of the cupcake. We're going to do it with the other part. There we go, just like that. And everything else is going to be the same. The only thing I changed was on the candles. You see this little part right here? I changed that to a bright green. Same with this other candle. Let me move this out of the way so I can get a hold of it. Okay, back to edit. And that is the bright green. There we go. The cupcake wrapper, I changed to a bright blue. But as you can see, it also has score and ink marks on it. So you will see here it has the multiple. Anytime you do that, then you've got to find it. And we're only going to change the color right here. So you've got to highlight where it says basic cut. You're going to go in here. We're going to make that the bright blue. Okay. Of course, you can make these any color that you would like. Because, if it's a little girl, you might want to make it in different shades of pink. That's totally your decision. Okay, so this part, we're going to, again, highlight just this part, and I made it purple right here. There we go. And, okay, this I made is white. So you're going to go in here. We're going to make it white. That's already being used. It doesn't matter if your white is a little whiter white or darker white. Doesn't matter. As long as they're all the same color, so they're cutting it out of all the same piece of paper. Now, on the frame, let's find the frame. It's going to be highlighted in the gray. Now, the background is this, which is under the little pale pink here. And I want that yellow. Okay, so I highlighted that, and I want the background to be the bright yellow. Okay, and then I want the overlay to be the purple that we're already using. There we go, just like that. So now you've got, let me make it big. Now, you see where the yellow shows through the little holes? Okay, now we've pretty much got all the colors except for the happy birthday. We want this background to be the same white. So we're going to go back to edit. We're going to go up here. You see how it's gray? We want it white. We want the full happy birthday to be the purple, this part. So you're going to go in here and pick the purple. And then we want the birthday, so it will be a different color in the bright blue. There we go. I usually try to keep all of my colors kind of all the same. You're going to use less paper. It's going to look more cohesive. So there, the front is done. Everything is done except for the sprinkles. And let me show you what happens with the sprinkles. Okay, I am going to hit make it. We're going to go back to the canvas and change this around, but I want to show you the reason that I'm doing it. When we hit make it, okay, there's your red card and there's your sprinkles. Except we haven't even changed the size yet. They're actually going to be bigger than this. They're going to take up almost a whole sheet of paper. Not a whole sheet of paper, but let me show you. We're going to make this a little bigger. Okay, so we're going to go into edit. I wanted the, sprinkles to be pretty big on here. That way we don't have to use as many and they really kind of make a big statement. So I actually did them 10 inches high. Oops, I just hit the wrong number. Sorry. Let me try this again. 10 inches high. There you go, just like that. Now, when we hit make it, okay, there is your card. And look, it takes up almost the whole page if we want the sprinkles in the right size. But I don't want you wasting all this paper. Okay, you see, look, here's your red. Look, we go to, that's your orange for your flame. There's your chocolate. There's your yellow for the frame. And there's all your yellow sprinkles. When we could use maybe a 3-inch by 3-inch space, and you're using this whole piece of paper. And I'm also going to make this, except for the card, the rest of it you can cut out by 8.5 and 11. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do. And now, do you see these right here? And they highlighted, these are all the blue. Okay. And these, the yellow is now highlighted. Okay. Now, if we pick this whole thing and we pick ungroup, you're on actions and we're going to hit ungroup just like that. Okay. Then we're going to do it again. Okay. And hit ungroup twice. Now, all of a sudden that ungrouped everything except for, you see these single purples? Don't ask me why that they're not in a group, but actually this is going to work to our advantage. So I'm going to make this smaller so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I've ungrouped everything. So now look, here is all of the purples, the light purples, which we don't worry about. We didn't change those. So here is the green, the red, the blue, and the yellow. Okay. We are going to delete all of these. Now, all of these, because you see how this is highlighted here. So I would go into this ungroup, but it won't let me do it. So I know this is going to be a little complicated, but if you don't want to save your paper, then you're done. Go cut it out. Use as much paper if you like. If you want to save and consolidate your paper, then we're going to do this real fast, and I'm going to show you. We're going to delete all these colors. Delete. Okay. Delete. 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 And delete. All we have left is these colors. You've got a couple of them that are in the green. So what we're going to do is what you do is you put your finger up above and to the left of your image, and then you drag your finger across. If you're on your laptop, of course, you're going to use your mouse. Okay. Then we're going to make all of these purple. Okay, and now you're not going to have any straggler colors. Now, again, I don't know why these are here, but we are going to use this to our advantage. Now we want to move. These are all by themselves. Look, they are not grouped up together. You see, whoop, see how that is? They're all by themselves. Instead of moving these all one by one, I am going to group them all together. Okay, so the easiest way to do that is I'm going to highlight parts of them, and then I'm going to move the whole section. I'm going to try and get them where they're not overlapping, but if they are, I can move the individual ones. Look at that. Okay, now see this here on the bottom? See how that's kind of got a group? And then I'm going to move these up into here. Like I said, if there's any overlapping, then that is really easy to fix. Now we've got this little kind of group at the corner here. And I'm going to drag those over here so they're in the middle of everything. I've got one that may be overlapping a little bit right here. Oops. There we go. And then let's do this other little group over here. Let's do these. And we're going to put them over here. See if we can find some place where they're not overlapping anything. We've got one little spot right here. Okay, this is new. They just changed this like 2 days ago. Where, you know, the delete is down here instead of on your square and stuff. And I am still getting used to it. Now, see? This is exactly what I'm talking about. If you highlight it first and then try to move it, it's just going to change your size. So don't do that. But it's a habit for me, and it's going to be hard for me to get rid of. So I'm just going to take these little individuals that are kind of sticking out and put them all in here. If you don't want to mess with this part, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do the the sprinkles. You can do confetti instead. Okay. There. Now, we've got them all. Now, we're going to group them because if we don't, they're still going to do, single. So you're going to drag it back across and then see down here where it says group. We're going to do group. And then we're going to hit attach. And that way they're going to stay. Now, you want to see the difference between using a whole sheet of paper for your sprinkles? Let's look. Okay, we got to get to purple because that's the only color we have so far. Right there. Now, see how much paper you're using now instead? Instead of a whole sheet, you've just got one little thing. And if you want to make it even smaller and use less paper, then now you know how. Okay, so we need all of our colors. So we're going to duplicate this. You've got 5 different colors, so we need to duplicate 4 more times. So you've got 1, okay, 2, 3. Let's put these up here. And 4. There. Now you've got your 5 groups. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to hit edit again. And then see this one's purple. We're going to go in here and we're going to pick red. And you hit apply. Then this one is going to be yellow and hit apply. Okay. Then this one is going to be green. Hit apply. Okay. And what's the last one we've got? Blue. Go in here and you hit blue and apply. And boom, you're done. Okay, there we go. Looks like we've got all of our colors. Now, let's double check. If you don't want to go into each individual one here on the layer and change things, then you can move them on sync. So first we're going to take the layers off, and right next to layers is sync. Okay, we want to use the least amount of colors that we can. So you've got blue, green, brown, purple, white, and red. Orange for the flame, and then yellow is your last color. Okay, there. Now, you see how these 2 flame colors are lighter? We don't want that. We don't want to have to cut out a whole different yellow just for those. So the easiest way to do this is we're going to move them up into the bright yellow. So you're going to hold your finger down on the 3 lines or your mouse, and you're just going to hold them down and drag them up. Just like that. Whoop. Hopefully they're going to fix this soon where you don't have to scroll all the way to the end again. Okay, now you're going to do it for the other one, and boom, you're done. You've got blue, green, brown, purple, white, red, orange for the flame, and bright yellow. And that's it. You're done. Okay? So go cut all these out, and I will meet you at the craft table and we'll put it together, and it is going to be so cute. Here we go. We're at the desktop. I use art glitter glue. I buy it with a small, with the refillable, with this little tip, because it keeps me from putting too much glue on it and it makes it all wrinkled. Remember when we were kids and you'd make something with construction paper and put a lot of glue on it and it wrinkle it? And here is the envelope. It folds right here also. I bought a whole ream of this really thin copy paper. It's 12 by 18, so it's big enough to do the right size of, and I will attach that here at the bottom in the description. And you'll just glue it like this, and then once you put your card in there, you can either put a little glue, you can put a little sticker, whatever you want to do. So there's the envelope. Easy, easy, easy. And now my next tip here is I separate everything onto these paper plates, and I use them over and over and over again. Okay, because it's easier for me to kind of keep everything separate. So I kind of do it by each step. And on the canvas, I showed you where we actually cut this in half instead of folding it. And if you did not do that while you were on the canvas, you can easily just do it with a pair of scissors. Okay, and then here's our cover. So there's that. The first thing we need to do, so it gives it a chance to dry, is get our confetti on all of these pieces. Let me show you. This goes on the top. Let me show you real quick. This goes on the front. Okay, it's going to go about, let me show you. Mine didn't fold exactly straight, so I'll end up fixing that here in a minute. So here we go. I did it about where this corner almost hits the edge. So it's about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, a little less than 1/4 of an inch, because here's our frame, and it's going to go right there. Up a little bit, so we get the thing. So that's going to cover that little corner there, okay? And these are your 2 inserts for the inside. And of course, you don't have to do the sprinkles if you don't want to. I like the sprinkles on it because I thought, you know, it's a cupcake. Cupcakes need sprinkles, all that good stuff. So we're going to do the sprinkles on each one of these. I'm going to show you how I do it on this. Then I will do these 2 and fast forward it. So, because you don't need to sit through the whole thing. Okay, here's my 5 colors. Red. There you go. All on these different plates. So we are just going to scatter them around here. Okay, so we're just going to put little dots of glue. I may have to use my other one. Just like this. And it doesn't matter as long as if it's just scattered around. There we go. There we go. Now we got the glue going. I always tell everybody who makes these pop-up cards, you want to make sure that you give it plenty of time to dry. You're going to have glue kind of leak out around all your stuff. And I keep a wet sponge, just barely wet, over here on the side. Make my fingers wet if I have little tiny pieces. And then I can just pick them up on my finger just like this. I mean, you can use tweezers. You can use all kinds of stuff. It's just easier for me to do it with my fingers. There we go. But if you don't want your card to either glue to the inside of the envelope or glue it shut, so where it won't open, because you didn't let the glue dry all the way. Okay, so we're going to be real careful about that. Let me put one more right here. Okay, there's your red. Now we're going to basically do the same with all the colors. And you just kind of pick where you want to stick your different colors. Here's purple. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm not too concerned about right in the very middle because these are going to go right here. Okay, so now we've got all of our sprinkles on there, and we're going to make sure they're all put down good. And then we're going to set this aside along with your triangle and let it dry. Okay, while we put the other parts, we're going to do the front of the card first. Okay, and here's your different front pieces of your card. So first, let's put, well, before we do that, let's go ahead. If I were just going to use this, then the cupcake was going to be white. See, that's how Cricut, and this would be the whole front of the card. So that's why I added a little bit. So instead, since it's going to be in this frame, I am going to add this blue piece. So the cupcake's blue instead. So it will kind of go with my, bright things. Now just do barely around the edges because you don't really want any glue to show here. And you're going to do it just above the candle. So, well, I see, look, I just told you about not getting any glue over here, which is fine. This glue dries clear, so it's not a big deal. Then leave this open and set it aside while we put all these together. And this is the background. But before you glue it, you always dry fit it. Look, you see how it's not lining up? That's because it's not the right way. There you go. Now it's lining up. And so you just want to, match the inside and the outside. So I'm going to just put a little tiny bit of glue here. On these cards, you don't need a ton of glue because they're just cards. No, they're not going to be, if you're making something that's going to be handled every day or get a lot of wear and tear or, this is just a card. So it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. There's your frame is done. Let's do our happy birthday. Here's your 3 pieces. The purple is going to go on first. Okay. And of course, I dry fit it before I do anything. And we're just going to put a little bit of glue here and there on here. There we go. That fixed it. Doing all those dots for the sprinkles kind of messed up my tip, which is not a big deal. Uh-oh, look. I just realized I've got a little piece of this bee that didn't come out. So let me do that. There we go. Quick and easy. And then you're just going to line this up. Just like that. There we go. Just like that. And then we're going to put this birthday on top of that birthday. Again, look, make sure that all these little tiny pieces get out before you glue it in because it's really hard to get them out after. So here we go. And we're just going to kind of scatter a little bit of glue here and there on the tips. Make sure that it all... There we go. Just line it up so you have the smallest amount of purple showing. So there we go, just like that. There you go. And I do have a little thing in here to dot the eye. I'm going to do it in purple this time. It doesn't matter. Whatever your preference is fine. And if you didn't grab that, you don't worry about nobody ever noticed that you didn't dot your eye. And you can always take one of the little dots that you just took out of your frame and put it on here. Uh-oh, I've got a little piece right here that didn't quite glue down good. I'm going to stick my glue in here real fast and make sure. There we go. Okay, now we've got all of that, but I'm not going to glue it on the front yet because I usually try to do everything kind of last because if we mess up the inside, then I have to redo all of these pieces again. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the inside, and then all we got to do is glue these down. This, and this, just like that. Okay, so that can wait. We're going to let it sit over here and dry along with the outside of our card while we put the cupcake together. Okay, so this looks hard, but it's not. It's actually pretty easy. So you got your 4 browns. Okay, and then of course your inked parts. There we go. And there we go. Just like that. There's all your pieces. This is going to go last. So just set that aside. First, let's go ahead and do our candle. Okay, I'm going to move these up just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Of course, depending on what color you decided. Now, the way that you figure out which candle goes on which side. Do you see how this has that little swirly thing on the top? Well, this is going to make you have a little swirl. This one, that doesn't work. See how the swirl's all messed up? So it's actually the other way. And now you see, you've got that little swirl to match the rest of the cupcake. So you just make sure that you put your candles on the right way, and then you're just going to match it up here at the very top. Okay, like that. Let me move it over, just like that. Okay. Then the yellow flame will go here. Okay, we'll straighten it up. It should sit right on top of the white. Just like that. And then your little orange thing, you can either put it in the middle. I kind of like putting mine on the side because it just makes it a little more interesting. It's not a big deal. Nobody's going to notice, but I wanted some yellow to show. Okay, so we're going to turn it over and do the other side. Again, you want to make sure that you have your swirl right. So let's see. Yeah, see how that does the little swirly thing? So that's right. Always dry fit your pieces first. It's a lot harder to peel them off and redo them and have to recut things than it is to make sure by dry fitting it first. There we go. Let's do the flame. I'm going to go do this really fast. There we go. Line it all up. This glue dries really fast, which is good, but sometimes if you don't get it, you have to move things out a little bit. You better do it fast because it dries really fast. There we go. We've got that piece done. Set that aside. Now we are going to do the whole cupcake. Okay, so these are gonna be opposite, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to use these small brown parts. The brown is the chocolate. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is these 2 inside slits right here, and on the same side, we're going to put those in this. So first, you're going to do one. Let me show you. And you just match them up until they go all the way down and they meet. Okay, see, it's the 2 inside ones. Okay, and then this one, and you can do whichever way you want. You can do it so you can see this, but when you do it, these things are going to be on the same side. So I do it with the blank side. Okay, then in that same, you're just going to match them up and slide them in. Okay, all the way down till they meet the bottom. And then you're going to go on this side, and you're going to do the exact same thing with the matching piece. Okay, so you're going to have to match up both of these slits together. Kind of get one started. There we go. And then this other one will go in. There we go. And I got this one. Okay, there we go. Now, you see this from the bottom? See from the edge and from the top. There we go. Just like that. Then your next thing is going to be the chocolate. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we have, these are going to be opposite. They're still the same, but these little tabs are opposite. This one's going to go up. And this one is going to go back. So you want this one coming out here, and you want this one coming out in the front on the right, and this one on this side. And these are going to go in the other two slots on the brown. So you're just going to do exactly what you did with the white, except you're going to do it with the brown. And that just gives you a little bit of chocolate. Chocolate and white frosting. Of course, you can change these colors if you want to do red velvet, and make sure that your little tabs are outside and they're on opposite diagonal sides. See, this tab is here, this tab is here. Okay, and then we're going to put this down in these slots. And now all 4 of your slots are going to be filled with your side piece. Now, you see that? I'm going to show you. Here's what your side should look like. Here's what your bottom should look like. Okay, you've got these on opposite corners, right? Okay. Okay, now we are going to do these. And these are going to come, these little arm things, they're going to come across the front here, and we're going to glue these here. So the only thing you got to make sure is on one side that, and we're going to put them in all 4 of these slots. Okay, and you see the 4 slots on the bottom here. So you can just leave it straight. You can go ahead and bend it. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. So first, we're going to put this in each one of these 4 slits, and we need to get it all lined up. It's going to be probably a little bit fiddly. You got to make sure you have all 4 of them in the right spot, and it will slide real easily right straight down in there. There we go. Now, you see this? You see how this and this match right here? There you go. That's what you want. Now, when you go to put the other side in, what you need is, this is long, this is short. This is long, this is short, because these are going to bend and you're going to glue them. So you need a short to go with the long, a long to go with the short. So we're going to do it this way. See how we have a long and a short, a long and a short. And so we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to turn it around so I can see. There we go. Oh, and since I turned it around, I need to turn mine around because we got to make sure that we have a long and a short, or we're not going to be able to glue them together and put our other swirly thing on. So get it all lined up. Make sure you've got all the little slits lined up and ready to slide in there. This one I need to go over a little bit more. Okay. Almost. There we go. There. Now, on this side again, the white is matching the chocolate. Same over here. And I've got a long arm and a short arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue these 2 pieces together. And if it's easier for you to do it short, you can do it short. It doesn't matter. Okay, you're going to fold these both in. Go over here, fold this down, fold this in. It doesn't matter whether the long one goes on the outside or the short one goes on the outside. It doesn't matter. So let's open it back up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. There we go. And we are going to glue these 2 tabs together. There we go. Now, if you want to make sure that it's going to fold good once it gets in the card, because obviously this has to fold flat. Okay, there you go. Just like that. And then this side, we're going to glue it too. Okay. Like I said, it doesn't matter if the short's on the long. You're not going to be able to see any of this. So then this way you know it's going to go flat. See? Okay, now you see how these are sticking out on either side? That's what these are going to do. That's where these go. Okay. Now, it kind of just depends on what you'd like to do. I like matching it. See, it's going to match the chocolate. Or if you want, see, this one doesn't match, but it all depends on what you'd rather do. This one matches, see? So you're just going to put glue right here on the arm that we just made. And then you're going to glue this on where you can't see it. Okay. What I did was I just matched the very top of the chocolate. Let me show you on this side. Do you see how this top of this, and then it curves up just like here? Okay, and then this curve over here, that's what you're going to do. Look, I'm going to dry fit it and show you. Okay, you see? Look. That's going to fit right across the top and match right there. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you don't get it exactly right. It's not a big deal. You know, it's a handmade card. It's not going to be perfect, of course. There, like that. There we go. Just like that. Now, there you go. See what you got? Okay. Look how good you're doing. Okay, there's your cupcake. Now, we have one more piece. It's the one that we already made with the candle on there. And it's going to slide. You see this last slit that hasn't been used? It's going to slide right here in the middle. Right into the last open slots here. There we go. There you go. Look, your cupcake's already done. Look at that. Look how cute that is. Okay, now your wrapper. Okay, this is just going to float. You're not going to glue it onto anything. It's going to float in there, and we'll fold. So we're going to fold all these pieces in, and you fold here on this little tab. Now, if you just stick the tab in the slot here, then the tab is going to show. So you don't want to do that. You want to go over the top and slide it in that way and go all the way to the edge. Okay, just like this. Do you see that? And then I'm just going to throw in a little bit of glue up underneath, right there. And glue it good. Okay, now you see how this goes flat. So that's working. There we go, just like that. Okay, and then we are going to slide this, and this is kind of, you can kind of pick whichever front you want. They're both exactly the same, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so you want this, since it's going to go in like this, here's your fold of your card. So it's actually going to be turned a little bit. You want to kind of put this seam in the back. So look, we're going to bend those down because we're going to slide it in here, just like that. And then you're going to bend these back up. Okay, so it will stay. There you go. Look at that. Look how cute that is. There is your cupcake. All done. I told you it looks complicated, but it's not. Okay, so now let's set these aside because we're going to do this here in just a minute. But first, let's get our white panels glued in the inside like this. You'll see that it's got rounded edges to match the card, and it's got a flat to where the fold is. Now you are going to have a gap in the middle, that's what you're supposed to. What I usually do is try to get these as close to even as possible. Okay, and then I want to make sure that these sides here are even, like across here, see, like that. And then this is going to go in, and it's actually, we're going to have a little bit of a gap here. Okay, so it's going to go in right in the middle right here. But first, let's get these glued in. Okay, now, if you're not making the front with the happy birthday and the sprinkles and all that stuff, on this back side, you don't have to worry about where you put your glue. So, get it in there pretty good. Here we go. Let me make sure I get it in there straight. There we go, just like that. But if you have not put this blue piece in and it's still open here, you're going to need to be very careful about where you put your glue on this one, because you don't want it to show through on this. So if you did not put the blue in there, then just do it right all the way around the edges and leave the middle blank, because otherwise the glue is going to show through on your cupcake. But since I have the blue piece of paper in there, I don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, and usually I will line up on the curved side. Make sure I'm lined up here. I'm not quite straight. There we go. Right there. There we go. Now, and you see the fold is right in the middle there. Okay. Now, these are you're going to match the edges of the white. Okay, just like this. And your cupcake is going to sit in there in that square just like this. You see that? So first, let's get these tabs glued in to our circles. So you're going to take it and you're going to put it above the tab. Then you're going to take it apart. Now, do you see the square, the brown square? You want this matched up with the brown square. The blue cupcake wrapper is just going to float above it. Okay, so you want to make sure that you get that right on the brown square. Okay, just like this. There we go. And then I'm going to put some glue on this. Okay, and I'm going to hold it for just a second. This is going to take most of the force when you're opening and closing, but once we glue this onto here, then we are going to glue it really, really good, so you don't have to worry too much about these tabs. Okay, so let's go back. I want to show you as we're doing this to make it a little easier for you to understand. Now, this one is going to go right here, see? Okay, now, so you know these are going to match up. You see how they're matching up on the bottom? So we want to make sure that our tab is over in the corner. And that, okay, hold on. Now, there is going to be a gap on these a little bit. Okay. See, when you open it, it's going to have a little bit of a gap, just a tiny one like this. Okay, which is no big deal. It just makes the cupcake stand up better. Okay, be careful. If you want, you can take this piece out while you're doing this, because I just bent my candle real good because I'm kind of putting some pressure on here. So what our biggest thing, ignore the side, our biggest thing is to line it up on the edges of the brown. There we go, like that. And then we're going to throw some glue underneath. And we'll glue it down really good when we get to the other part. Okay. And you can test this by folding it down. Okay, there we go. And then when you close it, look, here you go. There you go, just like that. When you close it, that's what it's going to do. Okay, so now here's your writing. It doesn't matter which side. Okay, and then we can put this, we'll put this in last. Okay, back around. Okay, you are going to glue these right on the edge of the white. Do you see that? You see how I'm doing that? And you kind of eye it to kind of get it in the middle. I mean, in the middle where there's the same amount here and here. Okay, so let's do one side first. Okay, you are going to put all your glue here. Make sure you get wet around the edges really good. And then we're going to put a bunch over this tab. This needs to stick really good so it will hold the pop-up in the right spot. Okay, so just ignore the other purple. We're only worried about this one. Okay, and I got a little bit of glue on there, but it doesn't matter. This glue dries clear. You're going to kind of decide where the middle is, and then all you're going to do is match up your purple circle. Now, if you want to try it where it's still folded, you know, remember we cut this in half? You can. The problem is you never can get it to glue in there right and to fold right. Okay. It's just the way that it's made. I have learned after doing a whole bunch of these that it's just easier to do it cut than it is to do it folded, because it just never seems to work for me. And so this makes it easier for you. But if you want to try, now you see this? You see how we did that? Okay, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to make sure that these two match up across here and across here. But other than that, you are going to do the exact same thing that you just did a minute ago. So, and you're going to match it up to the edge of the white. So here we go. There we go. We're going to come this way. Okay, and you are just going to make sure that you have, there we go. You see how that, you see how it's the same here and the same here. Let's close it, make sure, yep, because that's the biggest thing. You need to be able to close. Let's put our candle piece back in. There we go. Look at that. Look. Look what you did. Now remember, this closes up and down like this. Okay, look, you did great. Look at that. You already are almost done. Now we just got to glue those few pieces on the front and you're completely done. So first, you're going to line this up to where the left bottom corner almost, it pretty much touches your curve right here. You see this right here? See? I'm gonna move it up just a little tiny bit. You're gonna try to get this distance and this distance the same. See, just like that. And you can turn it over and glue it. Turn it over and glue it, or you can just hold one end and glue it in there, and then we'll flip it and glue the other part. There we go, just like that. Again, this is the cover, so it doesn't have to be exact. Oh, I moved it. There we go, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to turn it. If you're worried about it being in the exact right spot, not a big deal. You just want to make sure that you get it good. And there you go, just like that. Okay, there we go. The next is the frame, and it's going to cover the edge of, now it's just covering the cupcake. You're going to leave a little tiny red gap and a little tiny red gap. And then of course it's going to cover your corner here. Okay. So let's get this glued on. You are almost done. Look what a great job you're doing. Okay. We're going to make sure that we're just above the candle, barely. Okay, there you go. Just like that. Make sure it's straight. I usually look across the bottom of the cupcake to make sure I've got my frame on there straight. There you go. And the last thing is to add the happy birthday. So, just like that. Okay, let's put that right here. Got a little piece of glue right here while I'm holding it to get it glued down. There we go. Look at that. You're done. And look, how cute is that card? Now look, you get happy birthday, and then when they open it, I'm going to try and show you what they get to see. Just like that. Look at that. You did it. You did it. I'm really proud of you.